The Newbery honor book that I chose was called Doll Bones. It is by Holly Black and illustrated by Eliza Wheeler. There are not a lot of illustrations, but the ones that they are very well done. This looks like it's pastel and charcoal, and the ones inside are all grays and blacks, but they also look maybe charcoal and pencil. The publisher is McElderry Books and Scholastic Corporation. The copyright date is 2013. The genre is young adult fiction, fantasy, and gothic fiction, and the number of pages is 244. The appropriate age for this book would be 10 to 14 years old. It's got some older themes in it that might be scary for younger children, but it is a very cool book. Doll Bones is about three close friends, Poppy, Zach, and Alice. Each of them are very individualistic. They all play and join into this game of fantasy where they each have their own characters, and Alice typically plays the villain. Zach and Poppy are usually the good guys. But throughout the book, especially Zach is starting to understand with pressure from his dad that it's time to grow up. And he's kind of struggles, they all kind of struggle with this idea that they still want to play and they still want to be kids, but they're getting older and moving on to a new school year. And they kind of get made fun of by older kids for like their older siblings for the games they play. But they're starting to realize it's time to grow up. So the doll in the picture is a bone china doll that's locked up in a cabinet, and the kids' kind of fantasy world revolves around her as the queen. They call her the queen. Well, one day, Zach's dad throws away his action figures that they play the game with, and instead of telling his friends the truth, that his dad threw his toys away, he just decides to tell them that he's too old for this game, he's not playing anymore. And so to convince him to come back and play with them, they take the doll out of the case, and that's, it stirs up a new adventure in their game. So that's how they try to get Zach to come back. Well, after releasing the doll from the case, they each start having dreams about a little girl, which turns out to be the China doll maker's daughter. The China doll maker used his deceased daughter's bones to make the doll. So that just unravels a whole new adventure for the kids. And they go out seeking her where they should lay the doll to rest. So the ghost of the girl can be laid to rest as well. This story is just, for the age that it's appropriate for, it's good for them. It's good for these children because it helps them to keep adventure alive in themselves, and it can help them show that there is a balance between imagination and growing up. There can be a balance there. You don't have to get rid of one to enjoy the other. So that's why it would be a good book for students 10 to 14, and a good activity for the kids could be throughout the book. The students can guess what is going to happen next, because it is a good mystery story. You're not really prepared for the ending. So the students can draw conclusions from where maybe one chapter or maybe one section of the book ends to what could happen at the end of the story, and use graphic organizers to display their thought process. So that's Doll Bones.